The aggressive arrest of an older Colorado woman with dementia continues to come under intense scrutiny. Karen Garner was 73 when she was arrested by Loveland police last summer for shoplifting from a local Walmart. Well, now two of the former officers involved are facing charges. CBS4's Dillon has covered this case extensively, breaking every new development, and he joins us now. And Dillon, I know you live in northern Colorado. You know this community. You have many close ties with law enforcement. So how has Karen Garner's arrest impacted Loveland as well as its police department?
Specifically on the community level, Kelly, it comes down to broken trust. A lot of people felt that they had a safe police department until those videos we first aired really came to light. The first one showing Karen Garner walking back from that Walmart to her home after allegedly trying to steal those goods. And once people realized that the video showed that there was clearly something wrong, when she kept repeating over and over and over that she was just going home, this wasn't a normal situation, they felt that something should have been done right there to realize that this wasn't the average suspect that they were going to be looking into. So the distrust from the community is really something that we're hearing from, specifically those in the disabled community here in northern Colorado, saying that they feel this needs to bring more training to the police force on how to handle people who do have disabilities that may not be visible to the naked eye. So they're really trying to work right now on establishing a commission. The city council has asked them to do that to try and reestablish that trust between the community and also the Loveland Police Department.
And Dillon, I know you've stayed in contact with Karen's family. We've heard her daughter speak publicly about this case and how heartbroken she is over it. But perhaps what has she shared specifically with you?
Well, one of the most touching moments was when she took out the sweater that her mom, Karen, was wearing at the time of the arrest, and there was blood on the back of it, showing that there was an altercation that resulted in injuries. And as we all know now, the police department, specifically Officer Hopp and Jalali, failed to report injuries for hours after Miss Garner was sitting in that jail cell. So her daughter definitely heartbroken about it, but more specifically, they're now more so concerned about the fact that Miss Garner apparently has done worse mentally since this all took place. She has now been checked in to a mental health care facility, and due to COVID protocol, she can't really interact with her friends and family all that much. And they say she's still very confused as to what caused all of this, what caused her broken arm, her separated shoulder, and her sprained wrist. And they say her dementia has actually turned for the worse in the past year. And they say there's times where she doesn't laugh anymore, she doesn't really know who they are. And they believe that this has all really been triggered and onset, expedited, I should say, by the arrest.
You know, you just mentioned the two of the officers involved, and as for them, they resigned only after the video surfaced, and not just the body cam footage of Miss Garner's takedown, but also video from inside the police station where the two are heard laughing about what happened. So I'm curious, Dillon, do you think it was that second video that sparked their departure and then the subsequent charges from the DA?
Definitely. I believe that's the case right there. And even speaking with sources within the Loveland Police Department, they said they were mad after seeing that video. After it came to light, CBS4, we were the first to air it that morning when we released the video showing them mocking the situation and acknowledging that they knew there were those injuries, yet let her sit there in the cell for hours without medical attention. As you just noted, the police officers were seemingly going to stand by and try and ride this one out to prove that maybe they had a reasonable doubt or an issue going on there, that they could have been justified in their actions. But once you saw the video, that surveillance video that was digitally enhanced by the law firm, you could really hear that they probably knew what was going on. And after that, that's when the police chief really had to step in, and they ultimately resigned. But the community not too pleased with that. A lot of people saying they shouldn't have been given the option to resign, because by resigning, they could keep their pensions, they could keep some of their benefits, instead of being fired, where they would have lost a lot of that. So yeah, to answer your question, I think it was that second video that we first released that really put the pedal to the metal on accelerating that process on what was going to happen with the future of the officer's employment.
Yeah, video certainly changes a lot of things in current cases, and most recently what we've seen here in Colorado. So you kind of hinted at this, Dillon. This has kind of prompted some training changes within LPD. So what's different now, or what are they preparing to change?
Well, the police chief, Robert Tyser, who, for the record, told us that he supports the criminal charges that his officers now face. He has also required all officers on the force to now go through training for identifying people who have Alzheimer's. And he said he's also going to be sending 5 or 6 other officers for advanced training on that as well, hoping that they can pass down some of the knowledge that they've learned. We've seen other departments, including the, I believe it's the Firestone Police Department, also picking up on this, saying that they need to make sure to do those trainings. So yes, Loveland Police right now trying to expedite that process, making sure that they do have those identifying tactics to be able to tell, even if they may not be physically disabled, that there may be other mental issues that are going on that they should evaluate before using excessive force potentially.
All right. Well, Dillon, we know this case certainly far from over, and we know you will stay on top of all the developments in this case and bringing them to us on CBS4 as well as CBSN Denver. So thank you for taking time to join us here. We appreciate it. I know you got another busy day ahead of you. Now, you can find all of Dillon's reports on our website, cbsdenver.com. We'll be right back.